Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dr.Z NFT podcast. I'm your host, Matt Gazer, artist and co-founder of the Dr.Z, Dr. Zammsy franchise. I'm joined here with my co-host, Gordon Neal, amazing 3D artist and now animator, and Rolf Kowalczyk, crypto connoisseur and everything crypto NFT related. He's your man. So welcome, guys. How are you doing today?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Yeah. Awesome.
Nice. Fantastic.
Hawaii.
Yes. Yes.
Loving it.
The Super Bowl was a massive event.
I forgot that happened.
Yeah, American
not much
holiday.
Of a football fan, but I know Rolf baby is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm a big football fan, and it's pretty much just an American holiday. I'm sure other people in other countries don't quite understand it, but it would be something like World Cup or Premier League Championship or something like that.
I think we usually tune in for the halftime show. That's usually the thing that a lot of people watch the NFL for.
Oh, the halftime show was just a huge improvement. Last year's was
amazing.
Just the worst of all time, and this was like the best one of all time. So
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, they all made an appearance, and it was fantastic.
Oh, nice. Plus the trailers as well. So
yeah. The commercials weren't that great this year. Funny enough, crypto actually made quite an appearance on the shows. There was a lot of advertisements for Coinbase. And what was the one with the QR code, Rolf, that just kept
That was Coinbase.
playing?
So like for about
that was Coinbase,
30 seconds or a minute, there was just a QR code on the screen to scan. And I didn't do it, but I'm assuming some people did to go to Coinbase.
The group I was with did, and they're like, oh, it's Coinbase. And it's just pretty awesome. That said, crypto's on our mind. Rolf, you want to give us some updates?
Yeah, I was reading this article today about, another one of those naysayers of crypto, Warren Buffett, has all of a sudden, dumped some of his Visa MasterCard legacy financial system stock. And then he put in $1 billion into this Brazilian new bank, which is heavily crypto based. So, sometimes when they say something and then do something different, you have to see what the actions are people are taking to really know what's going on. So, I mean, as we see, crypto is just becoming more and more mainstream as it's adopted by the legacy people.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things on the internet right now that are talking about the scam side of crypto, and I can understand that because of any new venture in the world, someone will always be there to try and take advantage of somebody. It's just how the world works. Unfortunately, it's how the world works. But I know there's also people like me, Matt, and Rolf, and our team that are trying to actually build something. And people always talk about like your whole business is propped up with crypto. It really isn't. Like it's just one part of our company. It's one part of the whole picture of Dr. Zammsy, because like you said, we're trying to also pitch animated series, movies, and a full video game. Like, those are still things that we want to be part of the world. So it's not just that.
Exactly. I mean, NFTs are the catalyst that brings it all together, in like a ecosystem. You got the animated series. We're going to do limited runs of NFTs after each episode. Those are going to be playable in the card game. They're also going to be transferable over to the 3D adventure game for, getting assets that are playable in the 3D adventure game. So yeah, it's just a revolving cycle thing that's just going to be, churning. And yeah,
and just going back to the scams and stuff, I mean, everyone thought the internet was a scam, like when it first started, they're like, oh, it's just not going to last. And then, it's our part of everyone's life now. So
pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, you talk about
I was just going to say, it's interesting. My buddy that lives in my neighborhood, he's actually going to school for business, and he interviewed me last night because he had to interview a business owner, and he's a huge gamer, and we almost got into this argument through the interview, but it's like he just does not see how making money through games is going to consistently be the new norm. He's irate and pissed off at so many games that are out there in the market where you spend gobs of money on these huge games like Cyberpunk or whatever, and either they're broken or the game is canceled, and all this effort goes into playing these games and then they just go away. And he didn't even know the whole thing about the Philippines with Axie Infinity and how it's changed the economy, where you've got, people that used to just be, selling food on the street or whatever just to survive are now playing these games, earning crypto and like double or quadrupling their annual income.
Yeah.
And so,
well,
he
esports is
really
a real
didn't have
thing.
an answer after I said that,
Well, esports is a real thing, and you can actually go get a scholarship to American and global universities to literally learn how to play League of Legends and be on esports teams.
We're doing that
for
in the
example,
UK right now. Yeah, like
the
in Scotland.
owner, the owner of the Patriots, like where Tom Brady played and they won the Super Bowl. A lot of these NFL owners own an esports team, and like people don't even realize that they have a whole other team that they own where they're paying these guys to compete in tournaments around the world.
Yeah. It blew my mind when I saw Morgan Spurlock's show. I forget the name of it, but he chose gaming as one of the topics for one of his episodes. And when I worked on League of Legends 10 years ago, it was a very small isometric game, and they needed concept art to kind of expand the world. And then I took a long break from the franchise because I was working on a bunch of other things. But then I saw Morgan's show, and they specifically targeted how big League of Legends is, and they'll fill entire football stadiums of people watching others play games. It's massive. It's huge.
We've just finished construction in Dundee, Scotland. We have one of the first in the UK, one of the first esports arenas that they've just built. The house. I can't remember what the numbers is, but it rivals some football teams in Scotland.
It's exponentially growing the audience. Filling stadiums. It's pretty crazy. And speaking of scams, we submitted all of our we created our. In the development of our game, we had some stipulations from our main marketplace, Atomic Hub. They're trying to eliminate scams, and so we had to create a workable game with a connected wallet, and we submitted all that to them, and they just gave us approval. Like they looked it over, and they're like,
"I know,
we're legit."
News. We found that out today, actually. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And for those fans that haven't checked out Atomic Hub, again, please do. They've kind of retooled the main page, and there's a lot of new ways to advertise on there. So we're very excited to be a part of that in the coming weeks before a Set 3 launch, which is coming up.
And they have a feed to the NFT Insider has obviously partnered with Atomic Hub. So you can read like the latest articles from NFT Insider are right on the front page as well. So, and we have a really cool article from NFT Insider which is in the show notes. It's been there. I put it there every time for people to check out. And then we'll most likely have a Set 3 NFT Insider article that we'll post that as soon as we have more details. But we're pretty excited about Set 3 coming soon.
Speaking of advertising, Benzinga, one of the largest crypto NFT news channels online, they actually did a show with me this morning called The Long Run Show. And it went great. We'll post that link when it comes live. I think it's coming live today. So it's sort of a double hitter. You're going to get this podcast and the podcast from the Long Run Show. Michael O'Connor that runs that was really phenomenal, and his partner, they were great. And the whole basis was really just the reason why it's called the Long Run Show is they discuss, the future of things, the future of crypto, the future of NFTs. And they've never had a guest on their show. They're a massive podcast, but we were the first to actually be interviewed in real time, which was pretty awesome. So we're just trying to get the word out there and grow our fan base any way we can, and it's actually a lot of fun hunting down new ways to spread the word.
And we got a lot of stuff is coming down the pipeline here. We're pretty excited. We've got our collaboration with Michael Blue. Just seeing it all come together and seeing the sort of pitch package, it looks beautiful. The gazers with full-on MP3 music to go along with the multiple million. There's like a million different combinations.
I thought there was 10,000, but
no, there's going to be 10,000 of them, but there's like a million combinations, so that it creates a completely unique NFT based off these attributes that are part of it. So that's going to be really cool.
Lots of new data coming out on that in the coming weeks. We're going to be advertising a lot and even sharing, information that will help lead to people being excited about that launch. I believe it's going to be launched around the end of March. End of March is the target date. They're already working on a website for this whole project. We got the login for that and checked it out. It's really cool. So kudos to Michael Blue and his team, man. They're kicking butt on this, and we couldn't be happier. It's just phenomenal. What a great partnership. It's pretty bizarre to actually supply the art, step back, and let some other professionals just handle it. Normally, always it's Rolf and I, 100% doing everything. And it's just so cool to watch someone else take it on and turn it into something that we could have never imagined. It's pretty awesome. So,
and then Series 3 is coming together. A couple of the paintings were finished, and can't wait to share that with everyone. We're just talking about which cards to animate right now and send to the animator. And actually, this drop that was on Friday, the Raya in New Logan card, if you're able to get one of those hard to get blends, I put a teaser in there for the Series 3 version of the Raya in New Logan. So if you read the story, you can kind of see the teaser, but the finished painting is just beautiful. But I put just a sketch just to kind of tease out that one for everyone. It was able to get a blend. I think there are maybe a couple still available. So see if you can find that teaser.
Yeah, our illustrator Felix, he's just wrapped up the Brighton card, and it looks phenomenal. Really, really proud of what he did. So his 2 cards are pretty much wrapped up. A few tweaks, but nothing major. And then I'm just still working on. I finished the Armada piece, which is this beautiful painting of all these airships rising to the skies at sunrise. Pretty awesome. So that's one's going to be animated too. And Rolf, you're considering doing a super rare card in the new set.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we're definitely going to have some 1-of-1 cards in this Series 3. So, we want to kind of get back to, I think there's only going to be 2 pack versions this time. And you're just going to have to search for these extremely rare cards. And so good luck to everybody finding those 1-of-1s that will be in packs. You'll just have to open up a pack and get lucky. But
we originally were thinking the 22nd of this month for the set 3, but we're just pushing it just a few more weeks. So I think it's going to be the beginning of March, the first week in March. The official date I think we'll have locked down by the end of this week, and then it's just guns blazing, man. We'll get this out there, and we haven't done a set launch I think since last summer sometime.
Yeah, June of last year.
But been super busy building games.
I mean, we did the Huddle God collaboration, and we've been doing our weekly drops, but we haven't had like a full series launch since last summer. So looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun.
And with this new launch, we're also going to, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. We're neck deep in retooling the main page with lots of great information, more explanation on things, and obviously, we're going to be advertising set 3. So it's a really exciting time. Got a lot going on.
And our game is a first of its kind. So we're just trying to do the best we can to explain it on the website. So when people come there, they can see that it's new. And I mean, like we've said before, there can be endless sequels and rehashing of stuff, but we're all about original. So it is difficult to launch any new sci-fi fantasy original story. And so we're just going to do the best we can to explain everything to everybody, so they can tell your friends about it. And, just to let you guys know, we got a whole new set of t-shirts, and Matt Gazer has chosen this company, Cotton Bureau. He had this before I knew him, and the shirts are just the most comfortable shirt you've ever had ever. And so today, and Gordon has a couple shirts out there in Scotland. And so this picture right here, this is a picture of young Vizdidra. And people may not have actually even seen this painting, but it's a 1-of-1 from our first series ever. And it's one of Matt's best paintings ever. And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually release this as sort of a second edition Friday drop in a different way, but we'll still have that 1-of-1 that's, I believe, the most valuable card in the entire series. As soon as we get to that point, it'll be auctioned off. But we're just going to do something on Friday. This Friday is going to be this young Vizdeedra with a bit of a story for people and as a battle card. So look for that this Friday. But I can show you some of our new t-shirts. So we got, in addition to this lovely piece, we also have the pink crystal t-shirt.
Ooh,
another
nice.
one of my favorites. And I actually have this on my business card as well. It's just Matt's beautiful painting of the Waxundrium. The pink Waxundrium is actually what can open up portal gates in this world of Galagan. So if you're able to see the animation of that crystal, you can see when it pulls apart, it opens up a gate to other realms. Then if you look at the Orgaton card, there's a blue crystal that powers up. And this is the aged younglings are the ones who take the raw Waxundrium and put it into a form that's used by the Orgatons. So here's another shirt which comes in green, and there's other. You can choose what color. We set some colors for the shirts. So this is the blue crystal. It's really cool. And then we also have here Dr. Zammsy's laboratory. So Gordon knows this well. This is the concept painting for the laboratory, which Gordon's been working on for months, turning into this beautiful 3D environment for the 3D game, which we've posted links on the Discord. You can actually walk through this laboratory by
VR
watching the video.
And, yeah, it's
I mean, you guys can talk about this a little bit more while I just show it here.
Yeah, I mean, the team's been doing a phenomenal job. It's, definitely not final. Nothing is final right now, but it's a good glimpse of, just walking around the laboratory, checking out, activating the micro rings and shrinking down the mech suit. You can even put the mini mech suit underneath the microscope and look in there and see it real tiny and all that. Which is just proof of concept sort of environment stuff that will lead eventually to game design, gameplay.
And then this is the last new shirt. This is from 2 Fridays ago, the Aged Youngling, and it just turned out really well. It looks. I mean, this is
beautiful.
I mean, it's hard to say every painting Matt does is. I mean, he's obviously some. Yeah, he's talented.
Oh, shucks, guys.
Freaking love this one, the Aged Youngling. So the links are in. I post these links every time in every description. You go to Cotton Bureau, Matt Gazer, but just check the links in the description. You can go to the t-shirt site, and we only get $5 from the sale of the shirt. But trust me, if you want a super comfy shirt that fits perfectly, check it out. And you can also get a hoodie. You can choose if you want a shirt or a hoodie as well. So anyways, that's the end of my advertisement for the shirts.
So yeah, if you're into shirts, getting really cool swag from the project, just check out our Cotton Bureau link in the show notes. Also, one thing I wanted to bring up too is an update on the animated series. So it's been a long time coming. We finally finished the first draft of the pitch deck, and oh my God, it is if I could share my screen right now, I would show everyone. It's fantastic. I mean, I gave them a ton of graphic design elements, and we gave them all our art. And this guy Juan that Matt Lyon hired, he's just a fantastic graphic designer. He put it all together in this beautiful pitch deck. It looks like it's all from the same world. It just showcases all the great work that we've done. And I think it's a slam dunk, man. I can't wait to share this with studios and streaming services. It's going to be fun. It's
so beautiful. It has a little synopsis, and then it goes into characters, and then it has a little breakdown of each episode. So it's going to be a 10-part first season, and it's got a little bit. It's got like episode 1, 2, 3, and just gives you a little bit about what's happening in each episode, and then all this beautiful concept art from Matt. And it's, I think any studio is going to look at that and be like, green light.
Dude, when they see that and then they read the pilot script, it's going to be a slam dunk, I think. I mean, it's just everyone out there is so hungry for new content. We're just like giving it to them on a platter. It's like, come on, let's go.
Yes,
green light this, baby. Yeah. So
the rocket is about to launch. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's just crazy. It's a lot of months of just patiently working really hard with a goal. And I feel like in the next couple of months, it's all just going to completely click together. It's kind of crazy. The venture capitalists are on our neck. They want to fund us. the Yoshi drop thing with the gazers, that's going to just, we could potentially make a lot of capital for our projects with that launch. Set 3 is, if that sells out, game on, dude. We're doing this. So I can't wait.
I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel because, I keep telling Matt, I'm like, okay, we got to hold down our expectations here. We executed with the NFTs, that was a success. And then I'll just be really happy when one of these other things executes and it's like, we're getting so close. It's really cool.
We are. Yeah. Yeah. The room's getting hot. Can't wait.
It's getting hot in here.
It's getting hot in here. Yeah. So I don't know. What else should we talk about? I mean, we got a little time here. We got about 10 more minutes, what comes, actually, I got a good question. Gordon, out of all your experience on this project, what has been your favorite thing to do with us?
The podcast has been pretty fun because obviously I'm kind of good at that stuff as well with audio video stuff. So it's been fun every week to sit down with you guys and talk about the worlds. But mostly just being involved in a project, I think, because people know this, but this is my first kind of full-time gig. So, usually I tend to come on a project for a month or two and do one thing, then walk off it and then don't really see the end result. But having something from incubation to basically full explosive birth, that's like, I've never really seen that. Like, I've never been able to see both ends of the project, and it's been good just to finally get something put together, like prop-wise, and then see it all in one scene. Like seeing the lab now with, fully textured and Adrian taking pictures of it, like it's definitely
pretty wild,
thing.
Right?
Yeah. Like, and then everything's been built by me, textured by me, put together by me. So like,
pretty cool.
Yeah, loads of cool experiences. But just the whole thing that the lab is now a thing. Whereas like when you first hired me back in like August, it was like just a picture. So
I can just imagine 5 years from now, we're just going to look back at this phase in life where things were really, really difficult and just challenging and unique, and we'll just kind of laugh and just be like, wow, I can't believe we, we're here.
Right there. Yeah.
And to have you along with us, with the other gentlemen and ladies on our team, just staying with it is just an amazing dream. I just, it's just incredible. So.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple of times, where like the whole fact that we started even when I came on, like it was really just a couple of freelancers that we were hiring by contract, but then I was only really the first full time. But then of course we brought on Adrian, not full time again because he's still finishing college, but then I was still another employee, and then we got Carol involved, and you guys had Mike at the time, or Michael was involved in stuff. So like there's been a whole explosion of like the team just growing exponentially. And now we're up to like 5 or 6.
I love seeing the passion everybody has, because this is for the love of it. I mean, we're not quite there where we're raking in millions or anything. So this is, everybody's working just for the passion of this project and the idea of what we could.
We're still doing well. I mean, like we'll never disclose those numbers, and we couldn't, but like we definitely done. I think you guys said you done better the first year than you ever hoped. You probably could have done. So yeah.
I mean, I watch Shark Tank religiously. I quit my job too, but I watch Shark Tank religiously every single night, and it's amazing. Like, when people bring in their figures on what they've made annually starting their business, and well, how much have you made? 20,000. And they're like, oh, those aren't good numbers. And if when we spit out our number, what we made last year, I mean, that's there's something to be said for that.
That's why.
Exactly. There's still plenty of money to be made. So,
but especially,
I wanted to. Oh, sorry. This is a totally different subject, but just if we're talking about pop culture or something, I have a new crush, and I was just thinking that we could make her into a character. But if you guys have been watching the Winter Olympics, there's this new just like phenomenon. Her name is Eileen Gu, and she's 18 years old. She's from San Francisco, but she's competing for China. But dude,
isn't she the one that was in all that kind of controversy at the time? Was it because she fell over or something like that, or something weird?
No, she hasn't fallen. No. So basically I mean, if you hear her talk, she doesn't even sound like an 18-year-old. She sounds like she's been around. She's very, very mature sounding, but she's just like the best athlete ever. Like, she does these incredible jumps, like big air. She got the gold medal in the big air, where you do like, she did a 1620 flip, and then she got the silver medal in this cross thing where you go down a hill and you have to jump on rails. it's kind of like skateboarding and then do a flip. But she is just incredibly beautiful and then incredibly talented. And then she's already has like 2 million followers, and she crashed the whole Weibo like Facebook of China because it was like everybody was talking about her and just like crashed. So
wow.
Yeah, Olympics are a big deal for them over there. Definitely like a huge thing. Yeah. So yeah, there's so many Olympians. Like even in the UK, there's ridiculous amount of people who are breaking the absolute sound barriers of what's possible for athletes over here, and some of them are like, you know, even people who are now like, you know, before they even go into the adult Olympics, when they're like 16, 17, they're training, like they're breaking records that people have held for years. And it's like, it was funny, my parents were talking about that the other day, and they're like, is it not crazy how evolved, you know, how intelligent kids are and how far they're taking things now. And I was like, well, that's kind of how human evolution works. Like the next generation has to be more intelligent.
It's shocking. She's got like 2 million followers on Instagram, and she's already got like Gucci. She's got a modeling career as well. Plus she's got like everything going for her.
Yeah, we had a lot of that with the UK Olympians as well. A lot of the guys, because they're young, fit, you know, good looking people, they always get offers for different stuff as well. But it's a good way to keep money coming in when the Olympics aren't running. So yeah, it's one of these things.
I think it's interesting too with like Shaun White, perfect example of like how you can just be aged out of the process. Like this is literally going to be his last Olympics. And he was, I remember seeing him being interviewed. He's like, man, it's just simple human nature. My body just can't do what these younger guys can do these days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
but he was still
he's still
he got
young
fourth.
in retro. You know,
he missed the medal thing. He got fourth, but he's got 3 gold medals. So you know,
even getting one at this point is like still, you know,
unbelievable.
One.
You know what's funny? Actually, my wife's best friend, Fee, she told us the other day that she was an Olympian for the shot put, like back in like 96 or something like that. Yeah, I was like,
wow,
Fee, what the heck? She's a super cool chick, and she was she didn't win a gold medal, but she got to compete, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I never realized
funny. That's incredible.
He's 35. He's a year younger than me. That's crazy. Shaun White.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably feeling some aches and pains.
But that's the same with us with soccer players or football for us. But like a lot of the guys usually retire or get to a point in their 30s, mid-30s, where they start to think about leaving football because you just can't run or keep up the same stamina you could in your 20s. So you just basically have to bail. So yeah, it's one of these things. Any pro athlete, I think, past the age of 35, you're kind of done. You need to think about, and that's why people talk about these, you know, these crazy wages that people are on and stuff. I'm like, well, they only maybe work for like 10 years and then they have to find a whole other career. So like, I can understand why.
I think it's healthy. I mean, I've done 2 major career changes in my time. The first was when I was turning 30, and I got offered a full-time concept job at Lucasfilm. After already being there, I was already full-time, but I wasn't like a real concept artist. I was more of a painter.
The Planet stuff.
And I turned it down for a startup project, and that launched me into freelance. And then now, obviously, last year, Rolf,
starting your own business.
Starts, he's like, dude, let's do this. And so I just, turned down all those offers from major studios to work on this. So I think it's healthy, no matter what, if you're an athlete, if you're an artist, if you're, whatever, to just kind of switch it up. You're not going to
time is now.
You're not going to make you're not going to make exorbitant amounts of money changing your career all the time, but it's definitely going to be more fun. I think if you excel at one thing and you do it extremely well over the course of your lifetime, there's the growth potential financially is huge right there. But
you can always take.
I mean, it's a bit of a risk, right? But it's the worth reward if it pans out.
Now.
You can always take a tangent as well, because people who are pro athletes can always get into nutrition, or they can get into coaching, or something that is related to what they've done but isn't exactly what they've done. So I mean, even with artists, like, you can work for a major studio and then say to yourself, oh, I'm done with this, and then go and, like with Matt, start your own company, or even then go in to do teaching, or like maybe go to like a local college and try and teach young kids. Like, but you're still
start a podcast.
You're still involved in art. So I don't know. I was an engineer till I was 29 years old, and I left my career back in the dumpsters, and back in 2008 messaged Matt.
You were a train engineer, correct?
Yeah, no. So I was a telecommunications engineer. So I fixed all the data centers and phone points for trains, basically. So
that's right. Okay,
we maintained those. But yeah, so back in 2008, that's how I met Matt. I emailed him asking what a concept artist was, because I just typed in Google concept art, and Matt's Stargazer website was the first one that came up. So that was by email with him, and I sent a big long email, big long message. I've still got it in my email thread.
That was that brief window where if you typed in concept artist, I was the first person that popped up, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
I didn't do that. It was my roommate at the time. He hooked me up with great coding.
Did you fix the train to Leeds? Because in 2011, we were on the train to Leeds, and something went down with the switchboards.
People always say that. That's
we all had to get off and get on buses, and they had to bus us around to the train or something.
So anything goes wrong with the actual train or the track, that's the maintenance guys. But yeah, we fixed so that the telephone systems that connect the signal boxes, so when people have to pick up phones to phone trains or phone signal guys, like there's a train coming, we fixed those phones that basically maintained the whole industry. That if there was a train stopped or somebody had to get out of a cab and lift the phone and be like, I'm stuck, or there's a signal, I don't know what's happening, we fixed the phones. So telecoms was like big data centers that had big switches and stuff in them with Siemens, and we used to fix
eventually
those.
all that will be done through NFTs.
Yes.
Yeah. But I just wanted to say, now is the time to follow your dreams, and you can start small. Like Matt and I literally started out once a week for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have to. If you think about like creating something and the future, it could be mind-boggling. You just have to think about, what am I doing right now for 5 minutes? Like, where am I right now?
Incremental steps.
It's small steps. It's very small steps.
I mean, we had conversations this time last year about where we'd be, and in a way, we're right there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really daunting to think, okay, we're going to do an animated series and games and make NFTs.
It was kind of like, haha, we'll do one.
Oh my God, this is
someday we'll do it.
Just wait, it will come. And then because of our efforts and not giving up, we're getting really close. We're almost there. So and trusting people too. I think for a lot of artists that are really introverted and just want to keep their crown jewels on their computer, and they never want to share their material because they're too afraid of people ripping them off or anything like that. You're never going to go anywhere unless you share your material. Don't be afraid to show it to people, get feedback.
Yeah.
And
collaborate.
And collaborate. I mean,
yeah. You cannot do this alone. It would be impossible. I'm so thankful for Gordon and Matt, because we could never have done this by ourselves.
You have to trust other people. Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to your vision, I mean, you have to be very open-minded. I mean, Matt Lyon, Rolf, they're constantly bombarding me with these new ideas that expand the world, expand the story, and I just have to be extremely open-minded and check my ego at the door and go, "That's a great idea. Let's do it." Rather than "No, I didn't come up with it. We must do it this way."
There's a couple times where I read the script, or even like Matt Lyon did something and he changed something, and I'm like, no, that's not how we wrote it. And then I read it again, and I was like, I kind of like that. Like the first thing was like, wait, that's not how it goes. But then I read it again, I was like, he made it better. Like, it's better.
Yeah, you just have to.
You're never going to be the expert at everything you do. You have to rely that other people know what they're doing. So
exactly. Well, guys,
cool,
you guys have anything else to add?
No, I think we're all done. Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, look forward to our young Vizdidra card dropping this Friday, and set 3 at the end of February here, first week of March, and more.
And still available
each week.
Still available until Friday. You can get the Rhea and New Logan card, which is really cool. It's got the whole story of New Logan, kind of the history, plus a little Rhea in the back streets on the black markets of New Logan. So
racing around from the
that's
bad
available
guys.
Just until Friday.
Plenty of stuff. Yeah. We'll have all down in the description. We'll get Rolf usually puts the whole description links thing in as well, so he'll probably sort of that, but there'll be tons of links for all the stuff we've talked about in the episode down there.
Yeah.
One last thing too, I want to just, all you fans out there, spread the word, man. Just get all your friends involved, and send them to our website at drzammsy.com, and let's build this giant juggernaut of a franchise. Let's do this together. So thank you for your support. Really, really awesome. All right, guys, take care.
Bye.
Peace.